The Critshow contains elements of horror, fantasy violence, and adult language. Content warnings can be found in the episode description. Hello everyone, and welcome back to The Critshow, where we are playing the Clockwinders. So far in our adventure, our three heroes, Maxine, Einon, and Kade, have been recruited to repair the movement cores and stop the inevitable re-rotating of the world. But before they can go do that, they need to prove themselves by repairing one of the movement cores that is right here at home. Kade used a keen eye to spot a way into the tower where the movement core is held. Maxine used her impeccable book smarts to know what to expect once inside, and Einon has used his tremendous physique to scale the tower and make an entrance. But now that he is in there, he has found himself face-to-face with more than he expected. So, Einon, we find you in the upper rafters of the Clocktower, just inside of the face that you had bent away to make your opening, with your feet on a thick bed of webbing, and a million points of reflected light starting to move around you. A million's high. It's not a million. I think I said hundreds.
So glass, metal, and also eyes is the other thing I think we forgot that reflects light.
What would you like to do?
I backpedal towards this bent opening and try to scramble through. Fuck!
All right. This is going to be an overcome roll. I think this is going to be with athletics. And I don't think this is going to be super tough. You're not real far in there, and you had eyes on the danger, even though you didn't know what it was the whole time. So I think we're going to be trying to beat a 2.
Okay.
Fair difficulty.
That's a 6.
Nice.
All right. Not only do you succeed with style, which means you get what you want and you gain a boost. So a boost is like a special, like a baby aspect. It's a very temporary, fleeting aspect, but it's basically something that you can invoke for free once. That is temporary and related to your current situation, or the advantage that you have gained or created here. Once you use it, it is gone. So it's not like an aspect where it's just true and it sticks around. It'd be like, if you hit somebody and you knocked them slightly off balance, your boost might be like staggered. And then once you have made use of them being staggered, they're not staggered anymore.
Cool.
In that same example, like if you gave somebody time to recover, your boost would go away because they're no longer staggered.
Sure.
So like in this instance, you gain a boost. Just keep in mind like how you've earned this and what you might utilize it for before whatever advantage you've gained here might just evaporate because that temporary situation has changed.
Got it.
So you do manage to backpedal and scramble back out of that opening in the clock face. I was going to say to safety, but you are still 40 feet up on the outside of a tower. So not safe, but safer from the thing you were running from.
Saferty.
What'd you see?
We're fucked!
What?
Does Einon know what these things are? Have I experienced these ever?
What's your aspect that's like experienced hunter?
Experienced hunter, yep.
Okay. I think based on that, probably. I think you'd be familiar with these. You would know that these are ether beasts, which is like something from your world that has been transformed or mutated from their exposure to ether. So these are about the size of a pony.
God!
Yeah. And that's part of their transformation. Like there aren't other horse-sized spiders around. Most stuff in this world, animal-wise, you could expect to be what we are used to. And if that's not the case, it's because they have been tainted by the ether.
Is the growth similar? Like if, ether bear, it's X amount times bigger than normal bear.
I'm not going to put myself in that box. They might be tiny. You don't know.
Oh, no.
I am like trying to wrench a bit of the clock face back into place and just hold it there. Ether spiders! The bastard's just fucking full of them!
Does he know what that is because of his aspect, or are these a thing that we know exist in the world?
I would imagine that he is able to, like, piece together what they were from the scenario because of his aspect.
So we know these exist. We just may not have been able to, like, oh, that's what it is based off of its reflection of eyes.
Yeah, you might not have been like, ooh, based on the scale of the eyes and the density of the webbing and where they are, I think this is an ether spider. You would have just been like, fucking, there's definitely spiders.
Yeah. Okay.
And if somebody else had gone, ether spider, you would have gone, oh, I've heard of those. Yeah, maybe.
The horse-sized ones? Yeah.
Yeah, could be.
See you later.
I vote we burn it down.
No. We can't burn it down.
All right, come on up then.
Yeah, down on the ground level, you know, Hector's also just kind of like shading his eyes, looking up at Einon. He's like, damn, ether spiders, huh? They must be feeding off what's leaking out of the movement core.
Delightful.
Can you get past them?
I'm sure I don't know, darling. I'm sure I don't know.
Do you have a shot at him?
I, like, peek through a little bit. It's possible.
We can make a distraction down here.
I'm listening.
If you got eyes on him, we can draw their attention down here and you can take some shots at him.
Oh, hell. Yes, all right.
How are we going to draw their attention from all the way down here?
Well, I mean, now that we know that he's already kind of messed with the clock face, there's horse-sized spiders inside. Like, this place is going to be a bit of a fixer-upper. Smee, get me inside. And I want to try to hop on Smee and break through this door.
All right. I think this is going to be a tall order because, again, like, this is something nobody else has been able to do for generations.
Yeah.
So this is going to be an overcome. I have to imagine this is with physique. And, I'm trying to decide if you're trying to beat a 4 or a 5. Nobody else has been able to do it in a long time. I'm tempted to say a 5.
Okay. So I'm going to utilize my stunt, my mech friend. I get +2 to overcome physical obstacles when utilizing Smee.
Okay.
A 3.
Do you have anything else that you think you could invoke, that you could spend one of your fate points on to bump you up? You could get a tie, or you could re-roll.
I think I could invoke my trouble. I mean, how hard could it be? It's a door.
It's a
I've
door.
I've got a robot. I'm just going to run through it.
Sure.
So yeah, that gets me to a 5.
All right. This is the first time that we've actually utilized our fate points, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, you have spent one of your fate points, one of your points of refresh. Everybody has 3 by default, and they do refresh at the top of each session, which for us is going to effectively be the top of each episode. You'll go back up to 3 if you are below 3. All right, so with that +2, that brings you to a 5, which is a tie, which will mean a success at a minor cost. I think in this case, the enemy is going to get a boost. You and Smee blast through the giant stone doors at the base of this tower.
Arkady, Atwater, what are you doing?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Do you have any idea how long it took our ancestors to carve those doors?
Do you have any idea how long it took me to climb up this fucking tower?
Look, we were trying to preserve as much of this place as we could, but if there are ether spiders in here, that means things are going bad.
Yeah, speaking of in here, Arkady, you're in the tower.
Yeah.
You have busted clean through the doors. You and Smee are inside. And with light pouring in from the ground level, you can see that this tower does have, like, several floors, but it's like an open middle configuration. You know, you can see up to the top. And with the light and the knowledge that you already possess, you can see just webs, ether webs, crisscrossing the rafters up at the top. You can see the faint shadows of large beasts moving. If Einon hadn't already called this for you, you would think this was one huge fuck-off creature, the way that they are moving in unison.
I'm just climbing over the rubble and looking for the movement core.
Okay. I think as you are climbing over the rubble to make your way in, one of these spiders, like, drops down from a strand of webbing at an accelerated rate. Like, it does not slowly lower itself. It's like the fucking SWAT guys who have just enough rope to jump out a window and not hit the ground. But I think they're utilizing their boost that they got when Arkady broke in this door. One of them is, like, getting in position rapidly. So it lands in the middle of this chamber. On the opposite wall from these doors, on the ground level, Maxine, you see an enormous grandfather clock set into the far wall. It is intricately crafted from what you can see. It is about 20 feet tall. Like it goes up into the second level of this tower. And you can see that the hands on its face are ticking along the same as the hands on the face of the clock tower that you are within. You can see its enormous brass pendulum swinging back and forth. It is the only structure of note in here. And it seems like the only place that a movement core could be.
Kade, there it is. It's here.
Yeah, I know. It's enormous, and it's coming towards us.
I think I noticed the spider for the first time. What? Oh! And I back up behind Kade and Smee.
All right, so it feels like we're getting into a fight here. The way that initiative works in this game is like popcorn initiative, where we start with somebody, they pass it off to somebody else. You can choose when the enemy goes, or you can leave them until last, but if you do, they get to pick who goes next, and they might get to go twice in a row. The way we decide who goes first has kind of varied from version to version and like by preference from my understanding, but I think for us, it's going to make the most sense just narrative positioning. Who has the most reason to be going first? And I feel like in this case, it is Einon, who you were setting up for Einon to have a distraction so that he could take a shot. So Einon, I think we will start with you.
All right. Yeah, I am leaning back over, looking down the length of this tower, and I want to line up a shot. I want to flick my wrist, and my bow that is kind of a spring-loaded bow snaps open, and I line up a shot with that spider that landed in front of them, and I want to try to take a shot at it.
All right, Tass, you are going to make an attack.
Wait, Jake, are you getting ready to explain to us how combat works?
I hope so.
Ads!
Anyway, Tass, you are going to make an attack, which is an action. Since you are trying to shoot it with your bow, you are going to use the shoot skill. So roll plus shoot.
All right. My shoot skill is 5, so with that in mind, I rolled a 3.
God.
But can I use my boost?
We have not yet named the boost, so if you can tell me what you got out of that scenario and why it is still persistent and useful, maybe.
I mean, I got out of there really fast. I think that this is kind of an element of surprise that, you know, especially with all of the stuff going on below, they don't expect me to still be up here and now pressing an attack back on them.
Okay, I can accept that. So you can take a +2 to that, and this boost evaporates.
Okay, then that will bring me up to a 5.
All right. The spider is going to try to defend against you. It is going to use its athletics. That gets it to a 0.
Ooh.
Oh, man, do I want to start right out spending one of my fate points to invoke an aspect and do a reroll? Because that was damn near the worst roll the spider could possibly have.
Do we as players know, like, do you also have a set number of fate points you get a session, or is like each creature has some, or how does this work? Or is it just you're printing the money?
Yeah.
I'm the banker.
He's like, this is a new concept introduced to Fate.
I don't know
By
if this
me.
is anything that's supposed to be like concealed, but I get a fate point per player at the top of each encounter.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Well, we didn't use any of ours in the first episode.
So it's only fair that I don't either.
He's like, I also didn't use any of mine in the
Oh,
first
damn it.
episode.
I don't feel good about invoking any of these aspects. Like I feel like I'd have to argue in favor of any of them anyway. So I think just it fucks up real bad.
Okay.
So you got a 5, you say.
Yes.
That means you succeed with style
All right.
against this thing's 0. So you can either do your damage to it, which is how much you exceeded its defense by, or you could reduce that number by 1 and gain another boost here.
I'm going to take the boost because I feel good about that amount of damage.
All right, so this spider takes a monster arrow directly to the thorax? Is that a spider part?
Sure.
Could be an ether spider part.
Yeah.
Ether spider, they just built different, you know? They got thoraces. And it takes 4 points of physical stress, and you get your boost to define and employ when you want. You also can, if narratively justifiable, hand your boost off to someone else.
Okay.
So if you can define it in a way that you could give it to someone, you can do so. Who would you like to go next?
I think I'm going to throw it to Kade. And I do think I want to name this boost that the one that I shot is reeling back in pain from this big hit.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to reach on my back and pull off my giant wrench and give this spider a clubbing.
A clobberin'.
Yeah,
Nice.
A wrenching.
a wrenching.
All right. So you are going to make an attack, and it sounds like you are going to use fight to do so.
All right, so I got nothing on the die, but I do have a 3 in fight. So 3.
The spider actually, with its athletics, defended with a 6.
He's so fast.
Yep.
This wrench is so heavy.
He paints the fence with one of his 8 legs.
no.
Deflects your wrench.
Oh no, this spider's gone to Miyagi-Do.
So spending the boost for the plus wouldn't do you any good. You could spend it for a reroll. I don't know if mathematically you have the potential. Yeah, you do. You could theoretically succeed on that,
Yeah,
right?
dice-wise, I don't know if I do, because I haven't rolled above a 1
Yet.
Well, it's up to you. I mean, keep in mind this boost is fleeting. It's going to disappear
Oh, because it's
soon,
gonna...
one way or another. Like,
Do it.
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
okay.
Yeah. There it is.
I got worse.
All right. Well, the boost was dead one way or another, but that is a fail. You simply don't do any damage. But at least that's all.
Yeah, that's true.
Who do you want to go next?
I think the spider,
Okay.
as sad as I am to say it, I think the spider.
This spider's actually going to utilize its stunt, which is poisonous. So, like their mundane cousins, these spiders pack a poison bite, though of etheric nature. By spending an action and a fate point, they can inflict a mild condition on someone in their zone. So it is going to just spend its fate point and action to inflict a mild condition on Kade.
And in our parlance, which one is
Fleeting,
fleeting?
I believe.
Okay. You're getting ready to make a narrative choice that will affect us the rest of the story. Does ether spider venom make you angry or afraid?
It's not what the poison does to you, it's how do you feel about being poisoned.
Okay.
Oh.
Angry.
Now, I do need to make a decision that will affect the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Do the enemies all take their turn on the same initiative, or do they one by one also pass it around?
Oh, because there's more than one.
There's more than one spider. So is this, you passed it off to the spiders, or is this, you passed it off to the spider on the ground?
I don't know, because when you were reading us the rules from the book, it only dealt with one enemy. So I think that's all we're allowed to fight at a time.
The other ones are just like hanging out,
Yeah.
waiting. They're stretching.
No, we're only allowed to fight one at a time. They can fight us.
Oh, no.
Or each other.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be
Let's
great.
do that.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be, it's the bad guys' turn. That's how I'm used to handling it in most other systems.
Sure.
That makes it extra scary to make them go last. Because if there's like 8 of them, that means we're going to take 16 hits.
Yeah.
We take a break. We come back, and Jake tells us how much damage we've taken.
And either way, the only difference is if for some reason an enemy decided to allow somebody else to go next. Because otherwise, they're just going to pass it to each other regardless until their turn is up.
Yeah, they all have to go at the same time, because if not, the one spider could go, Megan gets to go. And now all 7 of us go last. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, whoopsie.
Now we all also go first again.
What are you going to do? So a spider approaches Einon rapidly in the rafters and is going to try and give you a chomp.
I defend.
Okay. It is going to attack with fight. It gets a 6. What would you like to defend with? Athletics is a good catch-all. That's just, fucking dodging, bobbing, weaving, parrying.
Yeah, I mean, that makes the most sense, unless I don't imagine I can bullet time this with notice.
Not really. Notice is used to defend against, like, stealth, like somebody trying to get the drop on you or something.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'll do athletics.
Okay.
5.
All right. It beats you by 1, so you need to mark off a 1 box. You could take it as a physical stress. You could take it as one of your fleeting conditions.
Okay, I'm going to take the physical.
You also always have the option to spend a fate point if you had an aspect you thought you could invoke. Let us not forget.
This is true.
That's true. Let's do that, because I think this is a great moment to add my keen reactions.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So spend your fate point. That gets you a +2, which means you out-defend the attack. You take no damage.
Outstanding.
And third spider, just for good measure, just to round it out, I think it's going to shoot a web at Maxine down on the ground. So a rope of ether web rockets down from the rafters in your direction. Would you like to defend?
I would love to.
I'm fucking rolling rocks for these spiders.
Oh, no.
Why did we let Jake run a game?
It got...
The spider's gonna Gwen Stacy you.
Fuck! In a clock tower.
Oh my god.
Spoiler
You got short blonde hair and everything.
Oh, no.
Woo! The spider got a 6 on its attack. What are you defending with?
I guess athletics, just trying to get out of the way. That's a 0.
Oh, Boise.
Yeah.
Do you want to invoke an aspect in any capacity to like re-roll or at least raise that up a little bit? You can't just add a +2 and succeed, but you will
No.
reduce the damage you take because you're about to take 6 fat points of damage.
Stress.
Yes, it is stressful.
Yeah, I want to spend a fate point to reroll. I'm going to use Einon inspires me to persevere, knowing that he's up here. Like, haven't seen him just try and dodge out of the way. I feel like I can do this. I can move fast enough.
Okay.
-4.
Whoa!
On the plus side, you take the better roll, right? When you spend a fate
Do
point.
I?
No, that's like the big gamble of the re-roll. It can turn out worse for you.
Oh, that's the fate.
Oh.
I can't spend another fate point to reroll again, though, right?
As long as it's a different aspect, I think so. Or you could just take 10 stress.
I think I'll spend another fate point. I think I want to invoke my high concept, the fact that I'm a clockwinder legacy. Like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I know this, and this is my first chance to prove it. I can't go down from the first hit with 10 points of stress.
Okay. Spend another fate point. It can't get worse. So that's great.
0.
All right.
So
back where we started.
Back where we started.
Okay, so a mere 6 points.
It doesn't seem as bad now, does it?
God.
Everything in perspective.
And all it did was cost you 2 of your 3 fate points.
So mark 6 worth of boxes. And remember that your lasting conditions, even though they have 2 boxes, they're still just 4. You just mark both boxes and it represents how long it takes to clear.
Okay, I think this is fair. I'm going to mark discouraged.
Okay.
And then my 2 in my physical stress track.
Okay. Woof. Well, with that, passes to you.
Oh, okay. So I want to look around the edge of this room. Can I see stairs leading up to the second floor?
Yes, you can, on both sides of the room.
All right, I want to try to get over to the wall and make it to those stairs. See if I can't get up there.
Okay, towards what end?
Gain the high ground?
Okay, sounds like you were trying to create an advantage then.
Yes.
Taking the high ground. So go ahead and roll to create an advantage. This seems like an athletics to me to navigate. And the spider on the ground is otherwise occupied but not unaware of you. But they do want to fuck you guys up. I think this is going to be a 3.
0.
All right. You can either not pull this off or you can pull it off and create this aspect, but your enemy gets a free invoke on it.
Yeah, okay. I think it can have a free invoke.
Okay. You get to the stairs and get up to the second level, getting the high ground on this one that is engaged with Kade. That is the end of this round. So, Megan, who do you want to go first in the next round?
I think Kade.
All right, I'm going to try again. I'm upset about this. I'm going to swing again.
Angry, one might say.
Yeah.
Roll to attack with fight. This thing's going to defend with athletics.
5.
All right. It got a 2 to defend. Does it want to invoke anything? I think this one's going to invoke its webs of ether, just to give itself a +2 so that it's going to take a little bit less damage off you.
Okay. I think I'm going to invoke then, too.
Okay.
I'm going to invoke my high concept. I know how to wield this wrench. I'm the mechanist.
Okay.
Nice.
So the net remains. It is a net 3 damage on this thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Spider on the ground topples, or sort of splays out, I think, and hardens. It stiffens.
Ah, you big gangly bastard.
Hey! It takes some mental stress also. Who would you like to go next?
Einon.
I've got this one that's come after me, so I want to try to shoot it in the face.
Okay. Make an attack.
4.
It got a 3 to defend. don't think I'm going to spend their last fate point, so it will take that net 1.
Okay.
And who goes next?
I'm gonna give Maxine her shot.
Okay, so what are we looking at in here as far as like metal?
Some components of the grandfather clock. The clock faces at the top of a tower. Otherwise, you guys' weaponry. Smee is in here.
I will lean over the edge to the bottom floor. Kade, you guys get up here.
All right. And I'll head up the stairs.
Can I borrow your big wrench?
Here you go.
Smee, can you put up your arms, legs, like this? And I'll hold them out in front of me like goalposts.
Does Smee accept orders from others?
I don't think so, but I think it's a quick, acknowledgement for me that he listens. He will listen to Maxine, actually. I have the aspect I've got Maxine's back. I think I've taught Smee to listen to her.
Okay.
I wonder, is it also part of something where I talk to Smee as an entity himself instead of being like, Kade, have your robot do this?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, brace yourself. And I want to swing, the wrench against his arms like a tuning fork. And I'm trying to create an advantage where the vibration kind of reverberates through this area and messes with the remaining 2 spiders.
Okay. This seems like creating another advantage. With what? I'm kind of leaning towards lore, because this seems like something you would have had to have studied to be able to implement.
Or even just knowing spiders in general catch their prey by feeling the vibrations in their webs.
Okay. Roll to create an advantage with lore. I think you're going for a 2.
3.
All right. So you create this aspect. Let's just call it dizzying frequency with 1 free invoke on it.
I shakingly hand Kade back his big wrench.
You're all just...
Here you go.
The 3 of us just vibrate off the side back onto the ground floor.
All right, next up will be the 2 remaining spiders. One is still tangling with Einon. I think it's going to shoot you with some ether webs.
It's gonna try.
It is going to try. It's a chance. It's a 3.
Okay. I'm gonna dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
Okay.
That's a 5.
All right. It does no harm. Its webs sail harmlessly by.
Oh, heavens.
The other one is going to dive out of the rafters and try and land on Kade. And it is in a good position to utilize the invoke it got off of the high ground.
Fair. Can we rename that since it's not the high ground anymore? Since we're below it?
I mean, for it's the high ground.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah, I mean, we called it high ground and then that one got killed. But
What about mid-level view or something like that?
about just superior positioning,
Ooh, yeah.
which it still has.
Yeah.
So, Kade, base roll, it got a 4 against you. Are you defending?
Yeah, that would probably be athletics. I was going to ask if there's a way to defend with stealth, but probably not.
Probably not right now.
Yeah. I can go, yeah, I guess I'm going to defend.
Okay.
I'm not just going to accept my fate. That's the name of the game.
Haha.
He said it.
Hey.
He said it. Fuck.
Oh, no.
-3.
Okay.
Boy, I feel like I should use my last fate point and re-roll that because I couldn't roll worse. I mean, I could,
But it'd be tough.
but
What aspect might you invoke?
I notice what's out of place.
It's a pretty good one.
Yeah. I don't like this rolling tray that I've gotten.
What is it?
Well, it's still a -3.
Oh.
You get a free invoke on the dizzying frequency aspect.
That's true.
The advantage I created.
Yes.
So you could re-roll it again or just reduce the damage.
God, I feel like I should re-roll, but
I mean, it's kind of a gamble. If you're at a -3
yeah.
on the dice, it's probably worth a re-roll. I don't know, there's a 25% chance it could get worse.
I never took statistics.
0.
Okay.
Yeah.
As Megan said, doesn't seem so bad now.
Yeah.
All right, so you will take 4 points of stress or conditions, however you want to dole those out.
I think I'm exhausted, first off.
And hungry.
I'm not used to this part of it. This isn't supposed to be it's just fixing shit is what being a clockwinder is supposed to be. Why am I using this wrench for combat.
For ill.
Yeah. And then I will mark my 2 physical box.
Okay. The spiders are going to nominate themselves to go first in the next round.
They're going to nominate and vote for themselves.
All in favor, and 7 hands go up.
7 hands?
Some of their limbs aren't voting for them, but some of them are. So the one that is down here on the second floor with y'all, I think it's going to try and pop. Oh, which one of you?
We're both in such good shape. It's hard to pick.
I think Maxine. It didn't do a very good job, though. It only got a 1. How would you like to defend?
I want to grab a bunch of dirt on the floor and throw it up into its eyes. I want to pocket sand it.
Okay. Boy, I could see this going a few directions. I could see this being a fight. I could see it being in athletics. I could even see it being a shoot, kind of, because it's like a ranged attack.
That does not matter because I have zeros in all of those.
All right, well then just roll your dice.
2.
Okay. You have outrolled this spider. You take no harm. The one up top with Einon is going to try and take a chomp. Got a 0.
Ooh. I got a 5.
All right. It wicked fails. Again, you are just too deft for it. It can't keep up.
Lord, I'm trying.
And they are going to hand the initiative order off to... I shouldn't say they. It's not like they're like, now it's your turn. I will hand the initiative order off.
Show me what you've got.
Hey, Spider 2. Who should we let go next?
Great question, Spider 3. I wish Spider 1 hadn't perished horribly.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Let's go next.
Einon, how about you next?
Yeah, I'm trying to just get along its side and put another arrow into it.
Okay.
That's a 6.
It got a 3 to defend.
All right.
I think I'm going to spend their last fate point to invoke Walks on Walls so that it can partially evade and lessen the damage here.
Can I use one as well to
Yes, you
boost
can.
it up?
Yep.
I'm an experienced hunter. I see him trying to do a little duck out of the way, and I'm going to compensate.
All right. The net remains 5.
I'm an experienced hunter. I know spiders go on wall.
That is the remainder of its stress. It goes belly up and does that like little crinkle thing that spiders do.
Ugh.
Who's next?
Cade, let's see what you got.
Yeah, I take a step towards this other spider. I say, Smee, webs. And I'm going to use my free stunt, Webs of Ether. Like an ether spider, you can spin webs of force from the ether. Once per scene, you can place an aspect representing a web of ether force, such as caught in a web, with 1 free invoke on someone else. I'm going to put it on this spider. And I say, Smee, webs. Out of character, I am doing it, but Kate doesn't know that. He thinks he is somehow triggering Smee to do it.
He's triggering the ether that powers Smee.
Yeah.
I like it.
And then I'm going to take a swing at it. 6.
It got a 0 to defend.
I'm going to invoke this free aspect to make it 8.
All right. You kill it extra dead. It has to mark all 3 of its boxes either way. So you just fucking obliterate this thing.
Nice.
With that, the last of the ether spiders is felled. The clock tower falls quiet with only the idle tick of the grandfather clock to fill your ears. And that is where we will leave it this week.
Ooh.
Oh, that was so good.
Well, those spiders fucked us up.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Immediately.
So thank you all for joining us. If you are interested in the game or the setting, you can find that information in the show notes for the episode. If you are interested in further supporting the show, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/thecritshow, where you will get your name on the list of people to be mentioned at the end of episodes, such as Maximilius and Foeni. Foeni.
Oh, is this what it's like to be on the other side of that?
Oh, wow. Yeah, it hurts over here. Thank you guys for donating. Thank you all for tuning in, and join us next week for another episode. Everybody say bye.
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 The Crit Show is a Critshow Studios production, edited and produced by Brandon Wentz, with music by Jake Purley. You can find more information about us at thecritshowpodcast.com. To keep up to date with upcoming live shows, contests, and other special events, follow us at The Crit Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For even more weekly content, join us at patreon.com/thecritshow.